Look at the streets of Mumbai, and you see physical gridlock. But look at the digital layer, and you're seeing the planet's fastest infrastructure build-out. Google is currently pouring tens of billions of dollars directly into this ecosystem. The capital influx started in 2020. That's when Google committed $10 billion to a digitization fund designed specifically to bring local businesses and regional users online for the first time. CEO Sundar Pichai architected this initial commitment, viewing the region as a multi-decade foundation for the company's growth. Then, the scale of the commitment expanded. By 2025, Google announced an additional $15 billion to build a massive physical AI hub along the industrial coastline of Visakhapatnam. Trace these massive new data pipelines from the US, terminating right in Vizag, built for gigawatt-scale compute. When compared to Google's other international nodes, the Vizag campus dwarfs them all. It's their largest AI campus outside the United States. These massive investments confirm that for Google, the physical hardware of the AI era is no longer strictly concentrated in the United States. India is becoming a primary staging ground for their global infrastructure. 500 million people are actively using the internet here. YouTube consumption in regional languages is staggering, reaching deep into rural areas and totally bypassing the desktop computer era. A massive population alone doesn't attract $25 billion in physical infrastructure. The real magnet is a unique piece of public architecture known as the India Stack. It started with a national biometric identity layer called Aadhaar. By giving 1 billion people a secure, verifiable digital ID, the government laid the foundation for instant digital onboarding. On top of that identity layer, they built UPI, a universal, real-time payments network. Today, virtually every transaction, from street food to wholesale logistics, happens instantly via mobile phone. This creates a fascinating environment for a tech giant. With hundreds of millions of people transacting and interacting online at lightning speed, the entire country operates as a massive, high-velocity laboratory. When developers test an AI tool or a new software feature against the sheer volume and diversity of the India Stack, they find the breaking points immediately. If a product survives the rapid adoption cycle here, Google can confidently export it to any other market on Earth. To actually run those tests, developers have to solve a massive local hurdle: language. There is no single native tongue here. The internet has to be accessible across dozens of completely distinct regional languages. This visualization shows how Google is tackling that. They are feeding massive, disparate data clusters of local dialects and distinct regional accents into their servers, synthesizing them into a single, unified, large language model. Cracking this level of linguistic complexity provides Google with a proven technical playbook for scaling voice search and AI across the rest of the global South. Writing that playbook requires heavy engineering power. Over the last decade, Google has rapidly expanded its physical footprint in the country to tap into an immense pool of software developers and data scientists. That talent pool has reached a tipping point. Internally, the mandate has shifted from localizing Western products for the Indian market to actively developing global Google products in India first. Those engineers need raw compute to train their models. That brings us back to the Vizag campus. It operates as a full-stack AI engine, built specifically to lease massive cloud processing power to thousands of local businesses. Embedding physical data centers and AI resources locally guarantees high-speed, low-latency performance. Google is actively positioning its cloud infrastructure to become the default operating system for the world's fastest-moving digital economy. Pouring billions into local infrastructure creates an immediate economic ripple effect. It generates thousands of high-value jobs in cloud engineering and gives domestic startups direct, high-speed access to enterprise-grade AI tools. But foreign ownership of deep digital infrastructure creates friction. The state apparatus is actively pushing for digital sovereignty, raising serious questions about who ultimately controls local data and server hardware. There is also a structural debate happening on the ground. Will gigawatt-scale compute actually improve crop yields for rural farmers, or simply accelerate the profit margins of existing corporate monopolies? Google is actively navigating that tension. A large portion of their initial $10 billion fund was specifically allocated to social initiatives in agriculture and telemedicine, building essential political goodwill with local regulators. Looking at global data density, a massive macro shift is visible. Emerging economies are moving past simply consuming Western code. They are now actively writing the algorithms and building the tools that power the internet. Google's $25 billion bet relies on a simple calculation. No other region offers the exact same combination of raw population scale, immediate digital adoption speed, and world-class engineering talent. Winning the race in India gives Google the infrastructure and the data to define the architecture of the global AI era. Tell us in the comments, as these massive tech investments unfold, who do you think ultimately walks away with the most leverage?